Hi, this is Mike Walters with the Stern team at Keller Williams, and I am joined today with Allie Adams, one of our buyer agents on our team. And today we're going to be talking about what happens when an appraisal comes in low. So in a rapidly appreciating seller's market like we're in right now, it's very common for the appraisal to come in lower than the agreed upon purchase price while we're negotiating the offer. The appraiser's job is to check the value of the home and make sure the bank is protected in case of a mortgage default. Keep in mind that a home is ultimately worth what a buyer is willing to pay for. And when we're negotiating the offer price with these kinds of conditions, the buyer will often offer a price that is higher than what recent comparable sales have closed for. The appraiser can only use closed sales for their valuations, and in an increasing market like this, it can be hard for them to support a higher price. So what happens when an appraisal comes in below the agreed upon price? The buyer could simply make up the difference in cash, or the seller could agree to lower the price. But in today's market, buyers are frequently waiving the appraisal contingencies and or offering to pay above and over the appraised value in cash to secure the home. As a buyer in this kind of competitive market, you'll need to be in a position where you can do just that. So if you're planning on maybe putting 20% down and have the cash on hand, you may consider changing that cash percent down to maybe 10 or 15% and use the rest of the cash as a buffer to fix the low appraisal. It will change your monthly payment very little, and over the long term will give you the best benefit of procuring and ultimately buying that property. So all that stuff being said, Allie, you're working with buyers on a daily basis. This is certainly not new to you, right?
Nope.
So I just sort of gave the ingredients on how this is happening, but because you're in the business all day long, give us an example of how you're seeing this play out.
So for me, when I'm working with a buyer, I already know that listing agents and sellers are looking for a plan on what to do on a low appraisal, because generally we're going to be offering over ask price.
Yep.
And we know that comparables are, 30, 60, 90 days, behind the market.
Yep.
So what I do with my buyers is I try and figure out how much they can do over appraised value.
Good.
And then, put that in the offer. So if they're not in a position to waive the appraisal altogether, which a lot of buyers aren't, then we can say in an addendum that we can pay, say, 10 or 15 or 20,000 over appraised value, not to exceed contract price.
Sure.
So then there's already a plan in place, and the seller's already agreed to work with you.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and so, we've had examples like this happen, literally all this year and even last year. And you're winning buyers' contracts simply by taking that, this playbook and putting it in play every day.
Yeah, last week I had a buyer, we won an offer. Originally when we started writing offers, they were doing 3.5% down FHA. And they only had maybe, $5,000 to do over appraisal. And we were getting beat out. So what we ended up doing is shifting their loan to 100% financing through Utah Housing.
Smart.
And then we had more money to work with to go over appraisal. I believe that we went under contract at about $11,000, with an $11,000 appraisal gap. And honestly, the appraisal came in above what we were under contract for. So my buyers actually didn't need to end up using that. So they're gonna have that money to use for updates and repairs.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Super smart. Just simply taking the tactics that we know are working and putting it into what you're seeing on a daily basis. So there, guys, especially on the buyer side, and if you're looking to get that extra advantage, we've got several buyer agents, Allie being one of them. Give us a call at the number on the screen. We'd love to help you get into that next dream home of yours. And if you have any other real estate questions or needs, call, text, or email us. We'd love to help you.